Ever wonder what it would be like to live a double life? Imagine fighting demons while exploring a physical manifestation of the true corrupted desires of powerful figures, such as corrupt politicians, mob bosses, abusive teachers, and more. Imagine doing all of this while having to live an honest life as a student and manage your relationships with the people around you. This is the critically acclaimed Sega Atlus made JRPG known as Persona 5. But most importantly, we're all falling down a bottomless pit. So a while back, I had to take an ethics class and I had to write an essay. I decided to write about Persona 5 because I felt like I would have been able to write something with a twist. Light spoiler warning. I do talk about one little thing that happens late in the game, but most people probably won't catch it. So now with that being said, let us start the game. The villains in this game are truly bad people with twisted desires. However, in this narrative analysis, I won't be talking about the villains of Persona 5. Instead, I want to talk about the heroes. More specifically, your party members you play as throughout the game, known as the Phantom Thieves. I'll explain who the Phantom Thieves are and their role in the story, and how the good guys fall into the category of psychological egoism, based on Professor Rosenstein's definition of psychological egoism. As the game would say, let us start the analysis. Let us start with what psychological egoism really is. According to Rosenstein, there are no selfless good deeds. Rosenstein gives different examples. However, my favorite is where she analyzed an episode of the critically acclaimed hit TV show, Friends. Specifically in the episode, the one where Phoebe hates PBS, Rosenstein mentioned that the character Joey gets a job at PBS hosting a show. Phoebe says it's selfish for him to work there since he's only doing a good deed for people to selfishly gain exposure and screen time on PBS. He counters her claim by saying that all good deeds are selfish and mentions how it made Phoebe feel good when she acted as a surrogate for her brother. That's when Phoebe mentions she's going to prove Joey wrong by doing a selfless act just to do it. I like this example because even though the characters are doing good for other people, it proves that there usually is something selfish behind a good deed. I mean, hey, Phoebe even says she wants to do a selfless deed to prove Joey wrong. So now she does a good deed for someone else and she says she did it to prove Joey wrong. Rosenstein used this example to explain psychological egoism. So you must be wondering now, how do the characters of Persona 5 fit into this category? Let us start with how Persona 5 works. There are two worlds, the real world and the metaverse. What you do in one world affects the other. Both worlds showcase the characters' examples of psychological egoism. The real world is where you live an honest life as a second-year high school student, and the character you play as in Persona 5, Ren. You attend school and spend time with the people around you known as confidants. Playing as Ren, the player can choose which confidant available that day to hang out with. During these segments, Ren helps these confidants with their problems. As an example, let's talk about the doctor, Takemi. Takemi is a doctor who's currently developing new kinds of medication. Ren comes in one day and agrees to secretly and illegally test the medicine and do trials for Takemi to research. This is egoism on Ren's part, because when he does this, Takemi gives him access to items at a cheaper price to explore the metaverse with. Not only that, but Ren also helps Takemi with the legal dispute from an ex-patient. By helping with this legal dispute, Ren gains levels and becomes stronger to fight in the metaverse as well. This isn't the only example. During the game, Ren can also help Yoshida. Yoshida is a politician who was falsely charged with embezzlement. Yoshida is therefore met with hecklers while making speeches and backlash because of the false accusations. Through meeting the player, you get the hecklers to stop and listen to his speeches, which are about bettering Japan. Ren helps to minimize damage to Yoshida's name in the political race. This gives Yoshida confidence to attempt to get back into politics despite the low point. In return, Yoshida helps Ren when he is thrown in jail when they are suspicious about the Phantom Thieves and what they are up to. He also keeps a secret after discovering Ren is the leader of the Phantom Thieves and prevents other people from knowing in order to keep them anonymous and safe. Therefore, this also demonstrates psychological egoism on Ren's part. Throughout the game, you meet many different characters. A select few even join your group as a Phantom Thief and explore the metaverse and fight demons with you. These members also have real-world segments that work similarly to the previously mentioned Takemi and Yoshida confidant. However, with people who explore the metaverse with you, they also get more powerful the more you hang out with them. Each party member, such as Ren, has a persona, which is being based on that character's personality that has the power to fight demons in the metaverse. Since personas are based on the individual person, as you hang out with your friends, both yours and your friend's persona become stronger and can fight more powerful battles in the metaverse. These other party members have a common goal: to make the world a better place and rid the world of the powerful authority that has wronged them. However, let's dive deeper into that. Each Phantom Thief has a problem that throughout the game they've had to overcome. Them joining as a Phantom Thief is psychological egoism. This is because being a Phantom Thief gives them that sense of self-worth that their lives were lacking beforehand. These characters did not just become Phantom Thieves as a good deed to better the world. They wanted to change their lives. Being the hero is giving the team that sense of accomplishment. For a while, their problems outside of being a hero go away, and they're doing something to benefit society. Even if they are challenging authority selfishly, each of the figures the thieves target has a direct connection to each of them. Two thieves were subject to abuse from the gym teacher. Another thief's father was the head of a greedy company taking advantage of its workers. And let's not forget about the corrupt politicians and kingpins. Each of these villains had a direct involvement with each member of the Phantom Thieves. Therefore, this showcases psychological egoism, because not only did this enact revenge on the people who wronged the heroes of the story, but it also gave the heroes a sense of accomplishment and self-worth that they desperately needed in their lives. In conclusion, I've realized through analyzing different media that egoism is everywhere. No matter how good a deed is, there's always a little bit of selfishness. People always tie negative sounding things to the villains, and that's exactly why I decided to analyze Persona 5. Persona 5 demonstrates psychological egoism not only in the villains, but in the heroes as well. I wanted to showcase that psychological egoism exists in everyone, even the good guys. Persona 5 is also a video game. People don't give enough credit to how much you could deep dive and analyze the story of a game similar to other forms of media. Just because a good deed can be deemed selfish doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're only human. Overall, the heroes of Persona 5 demonstrate psychological egoism. As I mentioned before, I was also required to make review questions. I'm gonna read them off here, and then they'll also be in the description, so feel free to answer them. The first question is, a persona is the way someone is perceived by others. Do you think you have another side to your personality that would be considered a persona? Do you feel you have different parts to your personality that people see different sides of? Explain why or why not using the context of the game. The second question is, choose a confidant from Persona 5 not mentioned in my analysis. How can you identify acts of psychological egoism throughout that character's confidant storyline? Why did you choose that specific character, and do you identify or relate with the character in any way? The third question is, what are the central themes in Persona 5? Do you think the theme changes throughout the story based on the situations the Phantom Thieves find themselves in? Question 4. Choose any party member. After choosing, analyze their persona and how their persona is another side of that character's personality. For example, Ryuji's persona is Captain Kidd, and Ren's persona at the start of the game is Arsene. Question 5. Based on the game, do you think the Phantom Thieves are justifiable in their actions changing the hearts of many people? Why or why not? Use ethics in your analysis. And finally, question 6. In what ways does the music in Persona 5 connect with the central themes of the game? Does it have an impact on how the player thinks about choices and consequences through their character's actions? And that's the end of my analysis. Persona 5 really is one of those games that makes you think. This has been the Bottomless Game Pit.